Okay, go ahead and share. I just have to say, you guys were so awesome last Friday serving food. Leah, what was it like to serve food to people who are in need of food and they were hungry and cold? And how was it to help serve food?
It felt good because we were helping out with them. So it just gives you a special feeling inside.
When I get when you were passing out the food and I was like standing there and I saw the smile on their face.
Beautiful. Yeah. Anyone would like to share? Okay. Well, that's so awesome. I was so touched. Um, and one of you said, "This is so fun. When can we do it again?" that was Emma, huh? Yeah, it was so awesome. So February, third Friday, we get to do it again, and you're most welcome to come and help out. Now, how many of you sleep? How many of you sleep? Do all of you sleep?
Yes.
Okay. Now, how many of you dream? Did you ever have dreams when you sleep?
Yes.
Is dreams pleasant or like scary or anxious or pleasant? What's been like for you?
Some pleasant and some like scary.
That's right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, let's look at the picture. So it's difficult to see, but you see the girl sleeping and you see like she's like dreaming some like scary things in her dream. The next one, here's a boy. He's scared to sleep because he had a nightmare last night and he doesn't want to go to sleep because he thinks nightmare will happen again. So why do we dream? Dreams are many things. Sometimes, we worry and anxious about like what's going to happen at school. Like you worry about doing your test. So you get really anxious. And so when you sleep, what you are feeling deep inside is released and is letting you know, hey, Leah, you are anxious. You are very scared about the test that's coming up tomorrow. And so dream is telling you about that. And then sometimes dream is very pleasant. Very pleasant dream where you are running around in the meadow and there's deer and flowers blooming and birds are flying, and you are so happy and peaceful and just filled with joyous feeling. And you wake up and say, oh, I wish that dream didn't stop, because it's so pleasant. You wish that dream would just keep going. And in that dream, you are longing for a life that is like that, filled with nature, peaceful, full of life, and you want to have life like that. So your soul is longing for a life like that because life that you're living now may not be that, might not be that good. And so your soul is wanting a better life for yourself. And so sometimes when we dream, it manifests. So when we pay attention to our dreams, dreams tell us the reality of what is going on inside of us. And sometimes we are not aware of them, that we are wanting those things, or we are worried about test tomorrow. However, dream reveal to us the reality of our inner world. So when dreams happen, be curious. I wonder why I had a nightmare where this monster was chasing after me and I was running and my feet won't move. Oh, so scary. Why did I dream like that? Just be curious. But another thing that's fascinating about dream, every character in the dream is part of you. Did you know that? Even the monster is part of you. The you who is trying to run away is you. And a mother who shows up to try to help you, or father who's trying to protect you, that's also you in the dream. So all those different characters in the dreams are part of you. And so you are as strong like a father, and caring like your mother, and sometimes scary like a monster, or scared person like you running away. That's all part of you, aspects of who you are. And dream is a way to get to know all the different aspects of yourself. And so when we learn to get acquainted and befriend them, hello monster, I want to get to know you. Hello dad, hello mom, hello myself. Get to know all parts of yourself. And guess what? As we get to know all different parts of ourselves, we become whole. We become complete. We become whole self. And when that happens, we are more confident and we have more sense of strong self, because many aspects of myself have now come together to become one, who is me. This is difficult concept, huh? It's not easy to understand, huh? Can you understand what I'm trying to say? Nah, yeah. I don't blame you. Even adults, they have hard time when I try to explain to them. So anyway, I'm just saying that when you dream, know that God is with you. God will protect you from harm. So when dream happens, let it happen. What an interesting, what an adventure that I'm having. So think of it as that way, adventure, because you will be safe. All right?
The reading from the prophet is taken from Joel, chapter 2, verse 28. I will pour out my spirit in all flesh. Your sons and your daughters shall prophesy. Your old men shall dream dreams, and your young men shall see visions. The second reading from the prophet is taken from Acts chapter 2, verse 17. In the last days it will be, God declares, that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your young men shall see visions, and your old men shall dream dreams. Please stand for the gospel reading. It is taken from Matthew chapter 2, verses 1 through 12. In the time of King Herod, after Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judah, Magi from the east came to Jerusalem, asking, "Where is the child who had been born King of Jews? We observed his star in the east and have come to pay him homage." When King Herod heard this, he was frightened, and all Jerusalem with him. And calling together of the chief priests and scribes of people, he inquired of them where the Messiah was to be born. They told him, "In Bethlehem of Judah, for so it had been written in the prophet, and you, Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, are by no means least among the rulers of Judah. For from you shall come a ruler, who is to shepherd my people Israel." When Herod secretly called for Magi and learned from them the exact time when the star had appeared, they had sent them to Bethlehem, saying, "Go and search diligently for the child. And when you have found him, bring me word, so that I may also go and pay him homage." When they had heard the king, they set out, and there ahead of them went a star that had been seen in the east, until it stopped over the place where the child was. When they saw the star had stopped, they were overwhelmed with joy. On entering the house, they saw the child with Mary, his mother, and they knelt down and paid him homage. Then opening the treasure chest, they offered him gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And they had been warned in the dream not to return to Herod. They left their own country by another road. The word of God for the people of God.
The first song I'll be singing, and if you feel called, you can sing along as well, even if you don't know the words. It's called Tend, and it's by Bethel Music. And the song goes with the chapter 15 in the book of John. In the landscape of my life, you don't rush through any season. You always take your time. A careful hand, a gentle guide. You take what's dead away, and you prune what's running wild. So be the gardener of my heart, tend the soil of my soul, break up the fallow ground, cut back the overgrown, and I won't shy away. I will let the branches fall. So what you want can stay, and what you love can grow. What you love can grow. Through the winter, I'm still alive. What you've planted in the dirt is ever reaching towards the light. You prepare me for darkened times. You'll sustain what you have started, and you'll teach me to abide. So be the gardener in my heart, tend the soil of my soul, break up the fallow ground, cut back the overgrown, and I won't shy away. I will let the branches fall. So what you want can stay, and what you love can grow. Grow. I'll remain in you, you'll remain in me, and I will trust So be the gardener in my heart, tend the soil of my soul, cut back the overgrown, and I won't shy away. I will let the branches fall, so what you want can stay, and what you love can grow. What you love can grow. So the next song is called The Heart of Worship. It's by Matt something. I don't have the word up here. Yeah, okay. And please feel called to sing along if you'd like. And I pray that you'll feel the Spirit of God when you hear this song. When the music fades, all is stripped away, and I simply come, longing just to bring something that's of worth that will bless your heart. I'll bring you more than a song, for a song in itself is not what you have required. You search much deeper within, looking into my heart through the way things appear. I'm coming back to the heart of worship, and it's all about you. It's all about you, Jesus. I'm sorry, Lord, for the thing I've made it, when it's all about you. It's all about you, Jesus. It's all about you. It's all about you, Jesus. King of endless worth, no one could express how much you deserve. Though I'm weak and poor, all I have is yours. Every single breath, I'll bring you more than a song, for a song in itself is not what you have required. You search much deeper within, through the way things appear. You're looking into my heart. I'm coming back to the heart of worship, and it's all about you. It's all about you, Jesus. I'm coming back to the heart of worship,
So today is the conclusion that I wasn't able to finish on the Epiphany Sunday about who were these three wise guys and what can we learn from them? What do they have to teach us? So let's look at the first slide. Okay. All right. So there are two sides to reality. The 8th century Sufi mystic says, I, meaning God, I was a hidden treasure and I desired to be known, so I created the universe in order to be known. That's a very profound wisdom saying, that God desired to be known, and therefore God created. God created the universe. God created all the creatures, stars in heaven. God created you and me because through God's creation, we are to know God. So God created the universe both seen and unseen because God wanted to be known. There are two dimensions of life. The forms we can perceive with our senses, and the formless realm that makes it all possible. Although we humans tend to primarily focus on the outer form to assess reality, there is at the same time an unseen creative force that is making all things happen, making all life to happen. So there's a dance of doing and being, which is demonstrated by nature everywhere we look. Through developing our spiritual eyes, we can deepen our felt sense of the horizontal and the vertical, sort of like the cross. There's the horizontal plane, and you could say horizontal is our like earthly realm, the linear world in which we live, and there is this vertical reality that connects us to the transcendent God. And so the visible world is connected to the unseen spiritual world, which makes all things happen. So the story of three wise men is that they were people who were able to see things beyond that is just physical, manifestation of creation. They were able to see the spiritual reality behind created world. And when they saw in this story a star that was very unusual, they recognized that something special was happening and we need to pay attention. And that we need to drop everything and investigate this unusual phenomenon. Because they intuited that something was trying to get us attention. And they responded to that. So by developing our spiritual eyes, we can deepen our felt sense of the horizontal and the vertical, or how we are at once an individual on a journey through time and space, and a timeless, indestructible beings one with God. Wise men from the East teach us that there are two sides to the world in which we live. And so if we reduce ourselves to only what we can see and touch, feel, smell, then we miss the force behind all that, in which we live, move, and have our being. Next. So if you look at creation, it's a manifestation of the divine. And do you notice that whenever we spend time in nature, we feel so much better? Our depression magically disappear. I call this nature medicine. And the reason is, nature is perfect. Nature is perfect everywhere, anytime. They're in the right place, doing the right thing. That's nature. Nature doesn't make mistakes. Nature is always doing what is created to be. And as season changes, it changes. It sheds their leaves. Everything falls and looks like they're dead, but no. Spring comes and new leaves come out, green, full of life. And in the summer, it peaks. And we see this cycle. And nature, animals too, all creatures, they're doing what they are created to do and be. Next photo. So there is a numinosity in nature. So people who are in nature, sometimes they have this vision of numinous experience where everything just lights up. Everything lights up with numinous light. And in that moment, their eyes open and they're able to see beyond tree, leaves, rocks, and streams, birds, animals, and see something that is manifesting all these things. And it's the numinous energy of God that emanates from these things, these created things. And they see that everything is holy. When we try to create a binary world of holy and secular, the mystics will say everything is sacred. Everything is imbued with the energy of God, the numinous. And the reason when we are near nature, it heals us, is because my understanding is that nature is the closest to direct manifestation of God. You know, to use an analogy, you know, we hear about food that is processed, overly processed. What do they call overly processed? Ultra processed food. Well, to eat healthy, you want to go directly to the source. Just eat the carrot raw, or you could steam it. Eat the broccoli. Go to the original source without going through many stages of process. That way, you get the most benefit of its nutrients. In a sense, you know, we could go into an urban setting, go to, discotheque club, or, all man-made objects that we create to have fun and entertain ourselves. But there's no better entertainment than being out in wild nature. It's so much better. And you get so much benefit from this raw, wild nature. And studies have shown that if you spend 1 hour in wild nature, walking and they call it forest bathing, which comes from the Japanese term, spending time in nature, somehow things that were skewed, the things that you were like out of sort, gets all in alignment in the right place. Like you are set, you are like a reset to a right rhythm of nature. Oh, I feel so much at ease with myself and with life. Why? Because nature has corrected you from spending all your time looking at your computer and scrolling, doomsday scrolling on your smartphone, where you get all your information from non-nature things to dictate your life, and then you realize why I am so out of sort, why I'm just filled with dread and anxiety. And then you go to nature, be unplugged, spend some time, lo and behold, you feel so much better. And they said spending one time in wild nature is equivalent to 1 hour of $150 therapy session with a therapist. Feel better already. Okay, so going back to wise men, what do they have to teach us? They say, pay attention. Pay attention to signs. And also pay attention to dreams. And we are going to learn a thing or two about dreams. So signs, what are the signs? Last Sunday I talked about paying attention to synchronicity. Synchronicity. If you will see a romantic movie, you see like two totally different people run into each other. Boom. Oops. And then at totally different place again, they run into each other. And they're trying to imply you guys were meant to hook up, get to know each other, and investigate whether you guys are meant to be together. And so that's an example of synchronicity. Where next picture, yeah. So you see, like sometimes clouds forms in a certain way and speaks to you. That's a synchronicity. Or birds, suddenly shows up in a most unusual way. Or a butterfly comes and alight on you. It's like, what is that? Indigenous people understood this. So they paid attention to synchronicities in life that animals comes to speak. When they show up or something, it was a sign of something. And so the wise men, they saw the sign in the sky through this star. And they followed the star and they discovered of hopes and fears that we've been waiting all these years were met in thee tonight. And they encountered the Christ child, the God's child. Next. There you go. You say like, oh, why is that there's a symbol of sign of heart? Is there someone that I'm not paying attention that is right in front of me that I am not noticing? Who knows? But these are like signs that are speaking to you. Okay. So dreams. These wise men, they respected message from the dream, which told them, according to the scripture, and having been warned in a dream not to return to Herod, who had bad intention, they left for their own country by another road. So they heed their dream. They pay attention to their dreams, speaking beyond from our own intellectual way to figure it out. So our little brain between our ears is not that big. You can't figure out things, all the things. And so we need to rely on messages and signs that's coming beyond from our little brain. And the universe is another term for God, is trying to get our attention. Because dream is one of the ways in which the soul is trying to tell us that, let me use myself as an example, that my life is incongruent with my soul. My soul wants to live out what it was created to be. And the life that I'm living is not congruent to the vision of my soul. So to give an example, I had this dream, this is, God, I don't know, 25 years ago, where I saw myself up in a, Berkeley Clarion Tower. It was like a museum. There was a bell and whatnot, and I could see the ivory tower looking over the campus. And everything was like a museum piece in there. It was all in the museum piece. And then there was this one black dog that was barking. Whoa, 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 was barking. And I said, why is this black dog barking, in this ivory tower that I'm living? Anyway, I did a dream interpretation with the dream analyst, and we concluded that I was living a very, like a museum-like life. A lot of book learning, but no life. Just a lot of information, but no life. And so everything was in a museum, case. But everything, it was stale, no life. Only thing that was alive was a black dog. And the black dog was saying, wake up, get a life. There's no life here. I am frustrated. I want to live. I want to be alive. And it was barking, ferociously. And I was afraid of that dog. So anyway, to make the long story short, the message from the dream was, you need to bring your anger into your life, into your ministry. Don't be such a nice, meek, nice pastor. Yes, yes. Oh, hi. Yes. Oh, okay. No. Bring your anger. Be real in your life. Bring all of yourself that is alive. Bring your passion into your workplace and make it come alive. So that was a revelation. So dream has a role of playing that. So, the prophet reading today, where God's Spirit is poured out. I will pour out my Spirit on all flesh. Your sons and your daughters shall prophesy. Your old men shall dream dreams, and your young men shall see visions. Next. Oh, next one. Yeah. So here's a woman in dreams. This is a famous painting. So we dream. We dream of our past, present, and future. We have premonitions. So dreams sometimes tell us what might come around the bend. So pay attention. Next one. So what percentage of everyday dreams are bad dreams and nightmares? The studies have found that bad dreams and nightmares compose 10 to 15% of our dreams. So most are not nightmares. And nightmares diminish in frequency as we age. They are more common in children than adults. And research suggests that young adults have nightmares more often than older adults. And my guess is because, after having lived a life, I could handle that. So you have less fear of life or what's to come because you've been there and done that. But when you're young, everything is unknown. Everything is not proven. And you don't know whether you could handle it. So there's a lot more anxiety, and so it shows. Next one. This is an American Indian dream catcher. If you go to a Native American shop, there's a dream catcher. You hang that in order to catch dreams. Yeah. So Native Americans understood the importance of listening to your dreams and listening to the message that the dream brings. Next one. So this is a picture of an iceberg. So our awareness is above the surface. That's our awareness. But things that below unconscious, which is the bulk of the iceberg. So 80% of the icebergs is submerged below the surface, which we call it unconscious. Carl Jung called that unconscious. Why is it unconscious? Because your consciousness is totally unaware of it. So in dreams, so what happens in dreams? So why is those unconscious materials stay below our awareness? It's because for whatever reason we have disassociated these things because we are afraid of them, it's unpleasant, or it does not support our persona. And so we disassociate them, we cut it off, and we bury it in the unconscious. Or aspects of shame, things that we are ashamed of, and so we bury in the unconscious. So when we dream, good analogy is there is a prison guard who makes sure the prisoners do not escape. So those prisoners are your unconscious. And your ego wants to keep your sense of self, your persona, or what you're like yourself to be. I am this smart, kind, generous, patient, fair-minded person. And so anything that challenges that being you, you cut it off. But when you dream, prison guards fall asleep at night. And that's when the prisoners make escape and they come out. And that's where it comes out in your dreams. So you begin to see aspects of yourself that you have disassociated, saying, hey, this is you. This is you. You need to get acquainted here. So next photo. Yeah, that's another photo. So there are two kinds of unconscious that affects our lives. There is a collective unconscious, meaning there is a collective unawareness. So what Jungian analysts will say in terms of our nation electing our next president, even though all that was revealed about him, there is a collective unconscious as America. As we, as a nation, there is collective unconscious, and because it remains unconscious, that is acting out. And our next president is a manifestation of our American collective unconscious. But when we become more and more conscious as a nation, then we will make different choices. Okay, you cannot drain the ocean. It's too big. That's collective unconscious. But you could drain a pool, which is your personal unconscious. You can drain a pool. And dream is a way of draining your pool to see what lies underneath the pool. Oh, that's where I lost my smartphone, and that's where I see my key that I lost, and my jewelry that I couldn't find. There it is. So dream is a way to drain your personal pool of unconsciousness and discover aspects yourself to become aware. Now, why we dream, and that is because it's what Carl Jung called it, the process of individuation. Individuation is all the disparate parts of yourself that you have disassociated and cut off and repressed, need to be gathered, need to become conscious, and integrate them into your whole self. That's called individuation process. So individuation process is, instead of living only portion of yourself in the world, you bring all aspects of yourself to engage and live in a world. And when that happens, everything is more passionate. Everything is more fuller, bigger, satisfying, and you become more alive, more powerful. You become more powerful. Why? Because all aspects of yourself are engaging with the world. You feel more resourced. You have a greater sense of agency and confidence because you have integrated. So individuation, according to Carl Jung, is there's only one Veronica? Oh, Victoria. Close. Victoria, there's only one Eden. There's only one Marietta. There's only one John. And individuation is where I become fully myself. That is irrepeatable. It's a one-shot deal in the universe. And this is it. So individuation is where I become fully John Song, that no one else can be. Fully Marietta, that no other person can repeat, being who you are. And so the dream is a source that will help us to become fully ourselves and see it as an aid that will help us, guide us in navigating life. So 3 wise men, they listened to their dreams. They pay attention to signs because they knew that they were important. Amen. May God abide in you. May God surround you to protect you. And may God walk with you to guide you. And in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, be with you now and forever. Go in peace. Amen.